Hey, Truth Seekers, Zach here. I want to bring you the observations I just made. I didn't get to watch a lot of this game, but I got to see much of the fourth quarter. And from my own observations, it really did look like Ohio State was the superior team. It looked like they just looked a grade above. But, that could all be part of the script, and this game definitely was scripted. And I think in watching this and thinking about it deeper and deeper, it seems to me that there really is a script going on, and it could be carried out mostly by the coaches, people such as Urban Meyer, who's now coached on almost every major college program there is, it seems like. The name Meyer has a 66 gematria. That number's so significant to the NFL. He was the coach of Ohio State who just won tonight. Truth Seeker, if you're not aware. Urban Meyer. Anyhow, I want to get to what was so interesting about how this game concluded. The score was at 35-20, a sum of 55, a very important number in numerology. If you add 1 plus 2 plus 3, all the numbers up to 10, it sums to 55. The number 55 is 5 plus 5 equals 10 in numerology. To some, it's considered the God number in numerology. Also, what's interesting is in simple English gematria, the word Satan sums to 55, the same letter combination we use for Santa. The word numerology in Pythagorean gematria sums to 55. I've done several posts on Christian pastors, especially the hate fundamentalist type, who have named gematria of 55 and established their churches in 55. You can search my blog and read more about that. Tragic stuff, Truth Seeker. Anyhow, this game did not finish with that score. It finished with a score of 42-20, and we'll get into that in a second. But the final score came with 28 seconds on the clock. And when they scored, the score became 41-20 with the assumption it would end up with 42-20 with the extra point kicked, which it did. But as he crossed the goal line, the TV commentator screamed out, "Dots the I of this national championship win." Just yelled it out, belted it out. He yelled it out in the way that if you weren't paying attention in the room, now you were, because he yelled it so loud. And what's so interesting about that is they scored with 28 seconds. And I'd already done the gematria in my head of what Buckeyes and Ducks was. I should mention, Truth Seeker, that duck, just the singular, equals 39, just like Nike. And if you don't know, Nike pretty much runs the Oregon Ducks football program. That's how they got to be so good. Anyhow, they're both located in the 33rd state, Oregon. Oregon's the 33rd state, the only with a gematria of 74. The word Jesus equals 74. The word cross equals 74. And what age was he crucified at? What age? At 33. And again, Oregon's the 33rd state. It's abbreviated OR 33. All right. Anyhow, and Ohio, on the flip, you guys, is the only state that sums to 47. These same numbers, Oregon and Ohio, special states, the 17th and the 33rd. So anyhow, when he's crossed the goal line, 28 seconds left, the announcer yells this out. Think about it. There's 28 seconds left. Ohio State Buckeyes. Buckeyes equals 28. Better yet, who am I saying is orchestrating this? Yes, Freemasons. The word Mason equals 62. The new sum of the game, 42-20. 42 plus 20 is 62. Just like the word Mason. And this guy's screaming out, "Dots the I of this national championship win." For all the sports fans out there who don't like TV commentators, and I know there's a lot of you, I used to be one, but now I'll say I don't even like the sport either. For all of you who don't like the commentators, the reason these people are on TV is because they understand this code and how to tease us with it. And that's why they're screaming things out the way they are. "Dots the I of this national championship win." I mean, just think about it. Did anybody in their living room say that phrase? No, that's not a natural phrase to say. He could have said so many things. Dots the I. This is the dots the I, you guys, the numbers. game of numbers. Yeah, and look at how many passing yards he finished with. 333. Look at how many he finished with. 242. These are the same numbers we see in the score of the game. Where's the score of that game? 42-20. 422. 242. I mean, is it a coincidence? There's so much of this, True Seeker. I know it's hard to imagine they orchestrate it this way, but maybe they do. Maybe Urban Meyer is constantly checking what his yards are at, and he needs him to get 9 more yards, so he calls up the 9-yard out route. Boom, he's got the 9 yards, he's at the number he wants. I mean, it could be done this way. I know it's sad to think about. It seems ridiculous, but it really looks like that's what's going on. Yeah, his longest run was 33 yards. I mean, I don't know. Is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence, Truth Seeker? The other thing I thought about is okay, this is the very first college championship game. So, in a way, this is like the very first Super Bowl in the NFL. This is what was a moment in history for college football. Their first playoff to national championship game. It's never been done before. And Truth Seeker, if you're not aware, the sport of football originates out of the state of Ohio, at least as urban legend or United States legend has it. Ohio's the football state. Part of the reason I thought the Lions might go to the Super Bowl is because they were originally from Ohio, too. They moved to Detroit in the 33 season, or at the end of the 33 season. But anyway, Ohio's the birthplace of football. And look, they win the very first college Super Bowl in a way. That makes some sense. Also, it makes me think about the upcoming Super Bowl. The quarterback of Ohio State wears the number 12. Out of the remaining QBs, Truth Seeker, there's 4 quarterbacks left with the 4 remaining teams in the NFL. Tom Brady, he wears 12. Andrew Luck, who I think will win the Super Bowl, wears 12. Aaron Rodgers wears 12. And Russell Wilson does not. He wears 3. But you know what's interesting, Truth Seeker? The number 12 in numerology is 3 because it becomes 1 plus 2 equals 3. So in a way, all of them wear a number 3. Isn't it interesting, Truth Seeker? Oregon's the 33rd state. He finished with 333 passing yards through that interception at the end of the game. It's all very fascinating, isn't it, Truth Seeker? For those of you who don't think these games are scripted by the numbers, I say guess again. Perhaps you cannot necessarily project what will happen without some inside intel, but you can definitely see that they are using numerology and a Masonic code to script these games before our eyes, deceiving us all. Think about it. They are deceiving us all, and that's why this is wrong and needs to be exposed. And fans need to wake up. They don't deserve to be exposed. It's okay to like football. Don't get me wrong. I like to play football. I played a lot of football growing up. But it's not okay to be deceived and lied to, and that's what they're doing to us. All right. Until next time, Truth Seeker.